Viewers, Ibrahim Traoré launched a new project in his country, one that no one could have ever imagined. He released 1 million turtles across Burkina Faso. You've probably seen world leaders building highways, opening factories, or announcing military plans. But have you ever seen a president who decides to release 1 million turtles into his nation's land? Yes, you heard that right. The president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traoré, one day announced that millions of turtles would be set free, and he ordered that no one could capture or harm them. At first, people laughed. The media mocked him. His opponents said, "The man has lost his mind." But no one could imagine that this so-called madness would soon transform the country's soil, crops, and entire environment. It all began when Ibrahim Traoré met an old farmer in his village. The farmer complained that the land was turning barren day by day, the rains were decreasing, and the harvests were falling. Ibrahim took this to heart. He realized that machines and fertilizers alone couldn't solve this crisis. Across Burkina Faso, there were vast lands lying dry and dead for years. The soil had hardened, rainwater couldn't seep in, and farmers watched helplessly as their fields cracked open. Experts tried various modern projects, but success seemed nowhere in sight. That was when Ibrahim Traoré began to think differently. Perhaps the solution didn't lie in modern technology, but in the ancient wisdom of nature itself. And so, he made a decision that shocked not only his critics, but even his closest allies. He ordered that 1 million turtles be released across the country. But where would all these turtles come from? The government began a nationwide campaign. People who kept pet turtles, or those rescued from hunting, were purchased by the state. Wildlife organizations were contacted for help, and even neighboring regions were asked to contribute. Gradually, the numbers grew until finally 1 million turtles were ready to move into their new homes. They were released into different regions, carefully, especially in areas where the soil was dead and lifeless. People were astonished. The media questioned everything. "Mr. President, turtles can't plow the fields or plant seeds, so how will they bring change?" Ibrahim replied with a calm smile, "Nature made them the gardeners of the earth. Just watch, the miracle will unfold itself, because turtles, though slow-moving, are actually silent environmental engineers. Wherever they go, they carry seeds of grass and life within their paths. They gently scratch the soil, allowing the rainwater to seep deep into the ground. Their slow movement and grazing of grass actually enrich the fertility of the earth." Ibrahim knew that if the natural cycle could be restarted, the rainwater would no longer be wasted. Seeds would take root in the soil again, and within a few years, the entire landscape would begin to transform. In the early days, people didn't take this project seriously. In marketplaces, jokes echoed, "Looks like the president has quit politics and opened a zoo." But Ibrahim remained unmoved. He would often visit the villages himself to see how far the turtles had spread, to check their condition, and to ensure that the locals weren't harming them. During this period, another law was enforced. Anyone who caught or injured a turtle would face a heavy fine. 6 months passed, and slowly the scenery began to change. The lands where only dust once blew started to show a soft green shimmer. After every rainfall, water began to linger a little longer, and grass seeds sprouted far and wide. The scent of moist earth returned to the air. Farmers noticed that as grass began growing near their fields, their crops started improving. Within just a year, the regions that had been lifeless for decades were now breathing with life again. Not only grass, but small plants and bushes began to take root. Villagers were astonished. How could all this revival happen because of such slow creatures? The same turtles that were once a source of laughter had now become the guardians and heroes of the villages. Seeing this success, Ibrahim expanded the project even further. More turtles were imported and released into new regions. This time, the people welcomed them with joy. Children were taught in schools, "Turtles are your friends. They are the ones who bring life back to the land." The project was soon hailed as one of the most unique and successful environmental initiatives in the history of the country. International media picked up the story. A president who saved his land with turtles. Environmental experts across the world praised it as a powerful example of how nature's solutions can often outshine modern technology. Sometimes nature's wisdom can be more powerful than technology. Many countries expressed a desire to adopt this same model. Today, those once barren lands are not only fertile, they have become beautiful destinations for visitors. People come there in amazement, wondering how a few turtles could transform an entire landscape. Seeing all this, Ibrahim often smiles and says, "The slowest creature on earth brought the fastest revolution." This story is not just about an environmental project. It is a tale of patience, wisdom, and love for nature. Sometimes the greatest miracles happen in silence, through creatures we often overlook with ordinary eyes. And that is why Ibrahim Traoré's name will forever be remembered in history, as a leader who raised an army of turtles to save the land. Rainwater began to stay longer in the soil, underground reserves started filling up again, and small ponds appeared in every village. Children played along their banks, elders sat in the evenings enjoying the cool breeze, and mothers smiled with relief, saying, "Now our crops are safe." All of this became possible because one man dared to think differently and proved to the world that friendship with nature is the truest form of progress. Today, when Burkina Faso's example is mentioned in international environmental seminars, people ask in disbelief, can turtles really do all this? And the answer always comes with Ibrahim Traoré's calm smile. We didn't just release turtles, we gave our land a chance to breathe again. That is the moment everyone understands. Sometimes the greatest power comes in silence, just like the turtle, who moves slowly but changes the world in time. When we look back today, we realize that one person's courage can change the destiny of an entire nation. Ibrahim Traoré proved that when intentions are pure and the goal is the betterment of humanity, no dream is too big. In the darkness of drought, hunger, and despair, he lit a ray of hope, and with just 1 million turtles, brought forth a new life for his people. This is not merely the story of a leader, but of faith, struggle, and hope. So my friends, if you ever feel like giving up or think change is impossible, remember this story. Anything is possible. You just have to take the first step, and the path will create itself. Thank you for watching. We'll meet again soon with another journey of truth and inspiration. Goodbye and take care.